let's say you are building something and your model starts.
So yeah, guys, this is Asutos, and I will be your host for today. So uh, thanks for joining us on the weekend, basically on the Sunday and in the evening. So I guess you guys are much more serious about your career. That's why in the evening time you have joined with us. And yeah, we are we will make sure that for the next 1 month, for the next 1 hour, you will be having uh, a you will be taking some great insights which will be helping you in navigating your career if you're looking into the AI and data science domain. So yeah, we will be starting our session. So the roadmap of the session will be there. Key first, for the uh, first half, we will be having a general conversation on how the AI is affecting the current market and how the AI is disrupting the current industries. And then in the second half, we will be having a Q&A session. So it will be open to all. So if you are having any kind of queries, any kind of doubt, you can ask that to Manish and he will answer your queries. So that will be the flow of the whole today's session. And yeah, so today guest we are having Manish. So first of all, thank you Manish for joining us and for accepting our invitation and joining with us on the Sunday evening. I guess from tomorrow onwards, I guess we all will be working, right? So thanks for joining with us and thanks for uh, accepting our invitation. So regarding Manish, I guess he's having 7 to 8 years of experience in this data science and AI domain, and he's currently leading AI and data science team at Financeops. And previously, he has been working at a HighRadius. He's there also. He has been involved in the AI domain. So yeah, a lot of experience he's having in this data science and AI domain. So yeah, Manish, we'd love to know like what was your journey, like how you started your journey in this AI domain. Be me and the whole audience will love to know about your journey in this data science.
Okay, so first of all, thanks everyone for joining us, as Sto said, because it's a Sunday evening, and but for me, the motivation is to talk to these young folks who are there. The crowd, I think, is really interested in this domain. That's why I got the time on a Sunday evening.
Sorry to
So
interrupt, Manish. Sorry to interrupt. So, to give you an overview regarding the crowd, most of the students are the one who are currently doing undergrad, means they are enrolled in the BTech. Some of them are
okay,
there who would be doing their masters. So mostly they are having the technical background and doing engineering. So that's the regarding the crowd overview.
sure, yeah, that will help me a lot because I have been into recently a lot of investors meeting where be it Sequoia Capital or take any big name, and that will really help us. So
Yeah,
thanks.
so they will not understand.
So
You will talk them about the pitching and all.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I have to be the first principle of communication is you must know the audience and then you should talk.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
So thank you everyone, and I'm Manish. As Sto said, like I'm heading the data science team at Financeops. It's a startup in the finance domain where we are building something which is world's first fully autonomous debt collection agent, where you can just, I mean, instead of having someone calling you, that agent can do telephonic or textual conversation up to 10 minutes long on its own. So that's a just simple, introduction what I'm doing. So apart from that, before finance ops, I was working with HighRadius close to 6.5 years, where I have worked on building the first of some of the AI features in that particular domain in which HighRadius operates, that is in account receivables. I won't get much into that, where my organization has patents as well for those features. And HighRadius was my first company that I joined after graduating from college. So that's the, that's the brief journey that I have with my work. So how did I start in AI? So right now you are seeing hell number of stuff on the internet everywhere. You do AI, do this course. There are 10 productivity tools. You must learn X, Y, Z. But if I have to tell you, 8 years, 7 years back, there wasn't much into the place. So forget the chat GPT and all. It was just very few companies that were there to hide in the domain of AI, and there were not much of the hype going on. That hype started after 2019 mostly. So I was a computer science graduate, and while in, I guess, in third year, I started some of the analytics project. I was doing, I mean, I would say pretty good with competitive programming and full stack development. And my prime interest was in mathematics for sure. And there I got a chance to do some of the freelancing project in analytics and in machine learning. That interested me a lot, and I explored this domain further. And when I joined HighRadius as an intern, I got the opportunity to, I mean, work on some of the AI features in the finance domain. I will tell you later why I'm particularly, I mean, emphasizing on finance domain from the scratch where this was not existing before. So it was not like I can just copy paste some code from online and I will build that. And um, it actually invoked a lot of, I mean, other learning that is needed just apart from dot fit or dot predict method that is there in any library. So from there I started my journey, and I guess it has taken quite a up and down, right? Because when I say up and down, because unlike other development field, be it software development or other work, AI or data science is always some sort of, you will have to do trial and error. There will be failures, there will be learnings, and that you move on. So I will share my journey, my experiences, what is happening, why you are seeing AI everywhere. Every other tech influencer, every other LinkedIn post is talking about it. I will definitely talk all about that. But this is how I started. I do not have any rocket science. It was just simple data science that I started to learn. And with every experiment, every model that I built, I had some learning and tried to reduce that error next time. That's how I learned. And I'm
Mm.
still learning. So it's every day evolving. Every day there is new model. And so it's ever evolving.
Okay, got it, Manish. So I hope they have learned regarding your journey. So basically, Manish, regard like you automatically started learning data science, or how you entered in data science? Like you got
So I
inspired by
was
some of your seniors. What inspired you to move into this domain? Because when I was in third year, I was a bit confused. But what domain should I learn? Either I should learn competitive programming, I should learn the hardcore coding for the problem solving, or either I should dive into some particular domain to learn the to learn how to make project and to capture the skill. So it become very difficult.
So I will tell you one thing. So my experience is you would be able to do it something really, really good if you are interested in that particular domain or something related to it. So for me,
Right.
I mean, at any second or first, second, third year student, I was doing competitive coding. I was doing some full stack project development, and I was doing quite well. I will not say that I was a superstar coder or something like that. I was doing decently well there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I was able to, I mean, get into last round of Amazon internship and some of those tech companies. But what happened, like in third year, I got I got one of the freelancing opportunity for analytics first,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a very, I mean, core interest in mathematics since my childhood, and that happened in college as well. Like I consistently scored, uh, I mean, almost 95, 98, 99, even in engineering mathematics. And that was not because I was very much okay, I can remember everything, but mathematics was one such subject. When I did this data analytics project,
Mm-hmm.
it intrigued me. Okay, this is something I'm liking even more than software development. And the next one was, okay, what's next in that field? Then if you ask anyone, at least during my time, how do you learn data science or analytics? It's Andrew Ng. I guess still he is the OZ of
Yes.
this field.
Right.
So I went
The
through this
founder of
course, and
Coursera,
there was,
right?
Yes, yes. So I went through his course, and there were even more mathematics that interested me a lot. That is one. And the second part was given there were a lot of experiment, trial and error. Uh, I almost decided that okay, if I get an opportunity in this field, even if you ask any third year student, the only metric that we look at during placement is the CTC, right? So okay,
Hmm.
is it CTC, or if there is like in the university I was in, KIT University, there was this day zero day. I was like, okay, even if I get any company which is working in analytics domain, even if they offer lower CTC, I will choose that first, because the statistics, algebra, and calculus, which I used to enjoy a lot, I got to experiment or learn about them much more during those projects that I worked on. Okay, and I felt that okay, bit of programming and mathematics is the ideal combination where this data analytics is. And with this, in the later half of, I mean, my learning, or I would say when I started working with HighRadius, I found that okay, domain expertise is the third aspect that, or the most prime aspect that you must learn to be successful in this domain. And many of my friends who were working in that role even switched back to software engineering role. They're working with Amazon, Microsoft in their headquarters in Redmond, and I mean Seattle and Redmond. But I stick because I loved it. That's why I was mentioning like this field. I mean, data science. It's a difficult because there will be a lot of ups and downs. But if you love it, you will continue doing it.
Got
So
it. So
that's where,
it was
yeah,
like it was most about your like how you started loving and how you were passionate about the AI
correct.
and data science, right? One thing that you mentioned in the last conversation, that you were quite interested in learning in mathematics from
Mhm.
like early on only. You were saying that from 11th 12th or in BTech. So how mathematics or how maths is important if someone, if any college student is currently learning machine learning or AI, how important it is? Can you please give a brief regarding this, like how important mathematics is? Because in the current scenario, like we are also an edtech company, so we are also having programs in AI and machine learning. So we often see that a lot of our students are not that much good in mathematics. So will that be affecting like how this current scenario is? And
So I will answer this.
they
Yeah.
also try to escape from mathematics. This is also one
Okay.
thing.
Yeah. So I will answer that. I will answer that in two parts. Okay. So first thing is like, is mathematics you must be, I mean, extremely expert in that? The answer is no.
Mm-hmm.
But do you need to know the fundamentals? The answer is absolutely yes. And I will answer you this whole concept in two parts. I will tell you. So first part is, in the current scenario, you have all the libraries, everything. There is Python and any other language like R. You have everything implemented. So you just need to import that library, know the programming, their API calls and all, and you can call any model, you can train anything and do it. So just to apply dot fit, dot predict, and all those, you do not need it. You do not even need fundamentals of math. You just know and you do it. But if you just know that part, the problem will be once let's say you are building something and your model starts failing. In pure software engineering aspect, I have to tell you, wrote a piece of code, let's say sorting algorithm. You wrote bubble sort. It will work for, let's say, up to 20, 30, 40 iterations. Your all the test cases will pass. But what if you have been given a test case where your sorting has to run over, let's say, 100,000 records, right? There you have to know the fundamental of programming, like, okay, if this is happening, do I need to optimize further, whether it's a time complexity or a space complexity? Similarly, in data science, it's as I mentioned, it's an intersection of maths. It's an intersection maths, programming, and the domain knowledge. Domain knowledge, let's say in healthcare or in finance or something like that. So you do not need to be essentially the expert in it, but if you need fundamental, it will be really helpful for you to even experiment beyond what is written on the internet, because nobody is going to teach you entire stats or entire algebra. For example, let's say today ChatGPT is making all the wave, right? But if I have to, if I ask someone, let's say the companies that which is the AI hype, right? So there is Harvey.ai, that company has come up. So it's a legal advisory tool. So you put the contract management, everything, it will work. There you are listening Chat GPT, you are listening model from Meta, you are listening model from Anthropic, like Claude and all. You can still call Chat GPT and it will give you all the answer. What if you need to fine tune a specific model for your use case? There, the company will filter the data scientist from just doing the dot fit, dot predict versus someone who can apply it further, who can understand that, okay, if I need to fine tune this model, there are concepts like, okay, whether there will be the back propagation, feed forward, all these fundamental gradient descent. Gradient descent, you will hear every time you will try to read more in depth about machine learning. It's nothing but a differentiation in simplest terms. Then you will have, okay, can
Hmm.
I do this fine tuning and can I reduce the memory or time for fine tuning? There you will need to apply the concept of matrix factorization, rank of a matrix. That's where there are concepts in fine tuning that will be applied. So it's not like I'm telling you be the expert, but it will be really helpful to go to the next level where the R&D, where the I mean new algos are designed. You would be able to do so if you know that. But to start with, at least start where you can see the results. That's why I always say that in when you are learning data science, I always suggest to my juniors, okay, do not go by Andrew NG course because it may be too overwhelming for you. Start with, okay, you do not know maths, that's fine. You do not know programming, that's fine. Can you just do some fundamental stuff? You will feel a sense of gratification. Okay, I did this, sense of satisfaction that, okay, I was able to fit a model. Now, once you are able to do so, try to understand how this model works. What if I change this hyperparameter? What will change in the entire decision making system? With this way, my interest was in mathematics that pulled me to this, but I'm not saying you will have to be expert. You just first start doing data science, then start understanding what's happening behind. I'm This is the unpopular way. I'm suggesting most of the purist data scientists or AI researchers won't agree with me, but I say that you start first with doing some fundamentals like, okay, this is a linear regression, this is a descent tree model. I fit, I do the prediction. Now the next method, okay, if I change this hyperparameter, how my predictions are looking. Okay, if I change this parameter, what exactly changed behind that? The results are changing. In this way, I'm telling you to do reverse engineering if your interest is not in maths. But if you are really interested in maybe in 1 month or 1 year, all your students will be by themselves, they will be getting interested how it works. If they are not getting interested, um, this may be an unpopular sentence that I'm telling you, but they will be filtered out in the interviews after a certain point. I can do 1 year, I can just get into a role. But when this company will move towards doing the specialized modeling and all, I will be
Hmm.
maybe moved out from that role because I
Got it.
just do not know how the internal function of particular model is. A model is nothing in the simplest math term, which is y is equal to fx that we have studied as function.
Got it. Got it. So basically, what I got it, if you are moving towards doing R&D, if you are moving towards doing some research or doing some innovations, then mathematics should be considered as as your topmost priority in machine learning or AI, right? But if you're doing some service kind of things, then models are there which you can use, right? Similarly, it's like working at a service based company and working at a product based companies, right?
Even I would say one thing, like even at service based companies, like some of my friends are working and they're those even service based companies has to innovate at some point of time. For example, I will take the
Yes,
name of, let's say,
exactly, right.
JS Associates, right? So if you just know the fundamentals like how you will do the fit and predict, even auto ML algos are there in the market can do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But where my expertise will come into the picture when it fails, when the
Yes.
fundamental models fails, then I will, okay, why random forest is failing, then I will go and think of some other model to work. But for that, I need to know what's the internal working. That's why I keep saying that do not be the expert, but at least you should know those fundamentals where you are working so that you can understand why something is working, something is not working. I generally tell to my team that, okay, if you are someone is coming up with 93% accurate, I say I get more worried when you are telling me this is more than 90% accurate, then this is 60% accurate. Can you explain with accuracy? So
Mm,
that explanation will only come if you know at least those fundamentals. So
right.
running away will not help. I'm not asking you to be the expert, but at least know the fundamentals.
Oh, got it. So if someone is uh, uh, like uh, having a very FOMO from mathematics, at least they can start their journey in learning machine learning. Later on, if they have understand the model and all, they can try to deep dive into the basics of mathematics, how
Exactly.
this model has been made and all. So those who are not
Absolutely.
good, those who are not good in mathematics, you guys can also start learning. And mathematics is for me also, it's one of the favorite subject, because it's like is simple logic is there in mathematics, so you don't have to
Yeah.
memorize anything. It's on the spot, you have
Yeah.
to do the problem solving, right? So yeah, those who are not good in mathematics, so you don't need to worry ki, it's mandatory for you to learn the mathematics. First try to do all the things using the model that are currently existing in the market, and later on if you understand everything,
Yes.
you can start learning the basic that is involved in building that model and all. So out of the interest, I guess at that point to be you will automatically start exploring the back end of that particular model. So yeah, I guess. So yeah, moving ahead, Manish, I'm from last 2 to 3 years after the launch of Chat GPT, we are seeing how this AI buzz, AI words, machine learning, and all has created a FOMO in the market. At least
Yeah.
for the from the employer perspective, those who are currently working in an IT companies. So it's a like they are in FOMO that their job will be getting affected in the next maybe 5 years or 10 years. So from your perspective, how you are seeing that AI will be affecting our job roles, as well as it will affect the workforce within an organization.
Okay. So I will just, I do not know if this group, I mean, is aware, but I will give this as a fact rather than telling you that has happened. So if you remember 20, 30 years back when computer was introduced in India around 1990, around,
Mm,
and the banks were the few of the primary sectors where the computer was introduced. So it was said that, okay, this computer is here to take the job, right?
right.
Before that, people were writing all the records in their notebooks. So there are so many people, just their job is to write everything in the notebook. But when computer came into the picture, it did not affect the job, it rather created the job, the more specialized job, someone who learned how to use computer. Those people started getting the job. Then with computer, what happened? Those people who were writing that in their notebooks, that become like data entry person and all who were entering the data in the system. After that, the more, I mean, the tools came up, like let's say internet came up, and there were things like you can do things on internet. For example, you can book the ticket, or you can let's say all the banks became computerized, and you can withdraw money from the ATM. All these things came into the picture again. Okay, the technology is advancing and people will lose the job. Then the fundamentals, and in between this, these ERP solutions also came into the picture in like 90s and late 90s. So like Oracle or SAP, they came up with
Mm,
ERP systems.
right.
So this, all the processes become more centralized, and people were fearing like, okay, this will result into the job cuts for people who are working in those data handling or all those fields. Excel came into the picture. But what happened with Excel coming into the picture? New field that got introduced was analytics on top of Excel, right? So people started using Excel and started getting more values. Now they do not have to do manual calculation. Now they could do the forecasting using the Excel, the simple forecasting that is available there. After that, after Excel, the AI came. There is two types of AI. I just want to make it clear, like there is one called decision AI or discriminative AI that used to exist, like the decision trees, random forest, and all of that. And now it is generative AI, which is like generating the content rather than making a decision about something. So there is a difference. So this discriminative AI came into the picture. And the algos of random forest and everything was written 50, 60 years back. It's not like they were written recently. But
Right.
the data was not centralized, the data was not decentralized. That's why it was not used. that those algorithms were not used. Now, when that came into the picture, everyone thought, okay, now we have a model which can flag which transactions are, fraudulent or which transactions are not. But what happened? It did not cut the people's job. It rather created job for those analysts, those data scientists, engineers, and even it increased the volume of business, right? So with every technological advancement, and now the technological advancement will happen even faster. Industrial revolution happened, and after that it took long period of time to computer coming into the picture. And it took 30 years when AI is really getting, in the market, it is everywhere, right? So what I believe, being in this field, that with ChatGPT recently, Cognition Lab launched Devin.ai, which is a
Right.
autonomous full stack developer, right? So okay, it will
Mm-hmm.
take the job. It's not, what I believe, it is going to take the job where human brain is already has done it for last 5-10 years. That's why it has been trained and it can do it. Now there will be job where we currently very few people are doing, but most of the people will be doing that. So for example, let's say a data entry operator, everybody was doing that, job got automated. Now there are tools which can read the data and insert in the database. Now there is job for data analyst, right? Similarly, there are software engineers. There will be maybe job for software innovators, maybe the idea innovators, maybe this is the design engineers who are just doing the design of how the new software will be, what would be the new design in the market. So technology is always going to challenge you. Like what you are doing consistently for 5-10 years, technology will be there to automate that. And our job, being in the IT field, in any sector, be it in data science or anywhere, is to learn what to do next, what I am not able to do right now, where
Mm.
I can challenge my brain to do that thing where technology cannot as of now do. There is this concept of singularity. There will be one day where what we can think or do, technology can at least do all of that or can do more that. That's a day that neither I can say anything or anybody can say. But till now, I do not see it's a threat that it will take the job. It will take those jobs if you are not going to advance yourself to move to the next level. That's my
Mm.
gut feeling, is that's what there is a trend in the past as well. There used to be, if you remember, if you have seen the videos, like there used to be two people's job to put a coal in train engine, right?
Mm.
Then
Right.
diesel engine came, and then there is electric engine. There is no role for that, for two people putting the coal, but there are more jobs created around it, right?
Mm. Right. Got it. So yeah, I guess only thing that we need to do is we have to keep ourselves upskill. Uh, we need to learn. We need to always in a learning mode. Otherwise, so one more thing, Manish. So as India is basically mostly is in a service segment. Mostly the
Hmm.
job which is there in India is in service segment, and in service sector, I guess from my experience, I guess 70 to 80% of the jobs are repetitive jobs, right? Where
Hmm.
uh, a particular person who is currently working at a any consultancy company is to do the repetitive task, right? And
Yes.
majority of our workforce, majority of the Indian population workforce in the service segment. So how this will affect their work? And I'm also seeing that uh, all the company, I guess Cognizant has in the last week has launched one software development tool, I guess, for the complete software development Cognizant has launched. And mostly all these consultancy companies, including the giant like TCS, IBM, and all these companies, they are also putting a lot of their money, a lot of effort in the AI to uh, 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 to optimize their processes to reduce their cost. So how this gonna affect us as an uh, Indian crowd or as an service segment market?
Yes. So I will tell you that when I was working with HighRadius, or even the current organization that I'm working with, I have worked on automation softwares using AI, which is going to cut down and the direct value proposition that we sell to the client that, okay, you use my software and you can let go your 20% of your staff. So when I build a software, you can let go 30% of your staff. Why? Because my AI is going to do the same task that your staffs are doing, or they can increase the efficiency of your staff
Yeah,
by
right. I
40%.
guess the percent of efficiency if a bot is running will be more than human is performing the same task.
Yes, correct. So that's where I was mentioning in the previous on the previous question, like in the current scenario where most of our population is working in the consultancy domain also, those tasks which were they were getting hired 5 years back, those roles will become obsolete in no time.
Mm,
That's that you can ask anyone and this will be the same answer. The roles
mm,
are going to be obsolete in no time. Okay, there are
mm,
automation softwares coming up. Let's say there used to be a lot of project managers on the project. Even there are automation softwares coming up which can do project management on its own. But
mm,
where the demand will be, if those roles are getting automated, right?
mm,
The human how our development, the evolution of human has been, we have been able to identify the more problems. We are Our volume of solving problems has increased day by day. Type of solving problems has become complex day by day, right? So
mm,
these companies which were, let's say, used to hire you for, let's say, doing audit, for example, I'm
right.
just taking an example. I do not know when this will be obsolete or what. There will be tools coming up which will say, I can do your audit, give all the reports. For
Mm,
legal advisors, there is tool, you can, all of you can search Harvey.ai. If you have watched Suits, there is this lawyer called Harvey Specter, a character, and based on that, there is a law grad in US who has created Harvey.ai. So it's like all the law students used to be the contract writers in the law firms. It can write contract, it can evaluate contracts on its own within a second.
right.
So those roles are going to be obsolete even in that field. Forget
Mm,
the tech roles.
mm,
Similarly, there will be roles in the office of finance, there will be roles in technique. So that is going to be obsolete. But at the same time, as a human being, our core competency is not not knowing Python. Our core competency is not knowing random forest or linear regression. Our core
mm,
competency is not knowing 10 or 20 legal, let's say, law rules and everything. Our core competency is problem solving, which no AI as of now can do better than us. Our core competency is finding the problem areas and
mm,
coming up with the solutions. So I always say, be a uh, solution finder person who can solve the problem, who can find the solution. All these are just the tools to do it, right?
mm,
So for example,
right.
initially how the data was stored. So all the tech giants, be it Google or Amazon or Microsoft, right? They store data on AWS. They are like the data kings, these three, or Meta, and of course company is Meta. But with blockchain coming into the picture, it is solving the same problem in a different way altogether, right? So it is talking about decentralization of data. So we have to keep ourselves updated with the tech trend, with the industry trend, because it is going to move faster and faster day by day. So there,
Mm,
let's say if I am an undergrad student doing, let's say, BTech or doing BCA or MCA or MTech, my focus would be, okay, am I on top of the game? Do I know the trend in the market for what role it is being hired? So first thing, my first target would be to get into, if I'm interested in doing the corporate job, get into that job. So get into the job. Let's say my interest in software engineering. So are software engineers still being asked those data structure questions? Maybe not. Maybe they will ask full stack, because data structure questions any chat GPT or AI can answer that very easily. So maybe I will prepare for that. Once I get that, I get a platform, then I need to keep assessing where the organization is moving. So for example, if organization is doing something like Devin AI for doing the software development for me,
mm,
am I going to use it to increase my productivity to 3x? Let's say 90% of the job that I can do, I know Devin or GitHub Copilot can do it. Can I take more complex software development tasks on me and learn that to develop. So you will have to, there is no rocket science or no fixed formula. You need to be up to date what's the industry trend. So for example, 5 years back, I was, sorry, even 3 years back before the chat GPT, I was
Mm-hmm.
using the BERT architecture released by Google for one of my NLP based project.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm going to use the same for this, I mean, that project, I'll say, okay, I will never use chat GPT. I do not want to get into the details of it. Somebody else will release a feature which is more efficient than mine.
Right.
That will impact my company's business. Company will say, okay, you are not even aware about how this this transformer based models like GPT and others are working. You are still sticking with the part which is being underperformed. So I am going to throw you out of the
Mhm.
company because of your reluctance. My company's business is hampered, right?
Exactly.
So it's going
Exactly.
to happen everywhere.
So the for the I guess for the next 5 years, that this the tech gonna be changing at a very exponential pace. So we
Yeah,
need to.
every field, not
Yeah.
just this. Every field is going to, because AI. What I believe, being in the field, that it was 3 years back. Okay, AI was a fad and it went away, right?
Mm,
And Bitcoin and the blockchain became the new talk of the town. Like this is the next revolution, not the AI. But
mm.
I will tell you one fact: 95% of the organization do not know how to find the use case. I'm not
Related to
doubting their
related
capability.
related to
Yeah,
AI, right?
correct. I'm not doubting their capability that they do not know how to find. But what I have seen, like, okay, you, if I talk to many other people working different industry, okay, wow, we can even I connect with some of the executives, like, okay, I want to do AI. Can
Mm,
ChatGPT predict, might do the cash forecasting? ChatGPT is not
mm,
meant for that. You are not even solving the right problem with the right tool.
mm,
Even if you are solving the right problem, so for them, AI will be the fad. But
mm,
there are companies which are leveraging it. You look at perplexity.ai, it's a new search engine, still
mhm,
under development. So you look at, there will be tools coming up taking you by surprise, right? So
mm,
there AI who knows it will definitely going to build, a huge business, and it is the next fuel of this whole IT revolution. It has arrived right now, and it is the right time to get on board if you are really interested. It's not for everybody that it's the cool thing that everybody should do. If you are really interested to explore, you should, because in IT industry the trends change every 10 to 15 years. 10 years back, big data was a big thing. Right now there are so many tools that you can automate the pipeline completely. Same
yeah,
might be the case with AI. Everybody know there is generative AI. You can talk, do anything. Now, OpenAI is working on um, general intelligence. The
yeah. It's
general
working on
intelligence that is
AGI.
correct. General intelligence, like AI can do anything. One model you ask whether it's calculation, we say, okay, ChatGPT cannot do this, but with GI, it can do everything. They're working on that. Maybe it take another 5 years or 3 years even, because the dev time is reducing significantly. So it may
Mm,
happen in just 3 years. Everybody is expecting that it would take another 5 to 10 years. It may not take that much of time. So we
mm,
need to be aware of what's happening, and if we are,
mm,
uh, I mean, if you are excited about that field, let's say you are excited about marketing. Even there, you can look at what AI tools are doing. It's like creating the whole funnel of marketing. You put all your leads, and it will qualify what's the success rate for each of that, people you need to reach out in particular company to do the cold email. So it's impacting every single area that you can look at.
right. One more thing, Manish, I would like to ask you, as you have been in this domain for last, I guess, 8+ years. So how is the Indian talent density in terms of data scientist or AI in comparison to the best or to the USA? How is the Indian talent density? Still, it is in growing state. How it is comparable to the best? Because in terms of a startup culture, in terms of startups, we are at the very low pace currently.
Yes. So I will tell you one trend about how it is happening in US versus how it is going in India. So uh, still hiring data scientists in India is relatively difficult task,
Mm,
and the reason is that that I was talking in the beginning. Like, okay, I know dot fit dot predict, and I call myself I am a data scientist. No,
Mm,
that's the fundamental problem. So I had to hire people when I joined this startup. I was setting up the team, and it was a difficult task. And even in US, so it's not like it's easily available there, or there is a talent, there is a lack of talent in our country. The
mm,
fundamental problem rises is in US, you have people dedicatedly working for some particular, someone wants to be actor, he is working on that. Someone wants to be in this field, he is working on that. And plus point with US is, okay, many people, they just, okay, reach there, and there are a lot of opportunity available as compared to India. So I believe in India there is no lack of talent at all. Only thing that is missing here somehow is how do we prepare ourselves for the opportunity.
mm,
That I would say, how do we prepare ourselves for that particular opportunity. So uh, that is only thing that is missing here. So I will give you one simple example. Let's say I need to hire 10 data scientists tomorrow. Okay.
mm,
So first, where I'm going to hire, there would be like, okay, again, go for lateral hire, who is already working with some organization. Then
mm.
we are going to hire from, let's say, colleges. Okay. Now in US, the companies where I can check for lateral hires, there
Mhm.
is that pool is huge. That pool is still very, very thin in India.
Okay.
It is growing at very fast speed. It is going at very rapid speed. I will tell you, because when I joined HighRadius,
Mhm.
I actually we were just 8 people. I was one of them, and I moved to Bhubaneswar. I guess if you are from Bhubaneswar, when you there is HighRadius office in KIT. I
Yeah, I
set up the
guess
team here.
some people will be from KIT University also here.
Yes, so I actually hired close to 120 plus or 150 plus data scientists in last 3 years, 4 years there, from 2019 to 2023. So
Mhm.
150 plus, and those people are now working whether within HighRadius or working with like organization like Microsoft, Amazon, or even let's say GS Associates. You look at the top, Dun and Bradstreet, they are working with all these data based organizations. So that
Mhm.
pool is very thin. Now,
Mhm.
to grow that pool, it is not going to happen overnight. It needs twofold effort. One effort is from the, organization like you, who is, making students aware about data science, this industry, and all of that. And they are learning from your organization, and they're learning from, let's say, other organization on their own. So that is one. The students need to show interest. It's not going to happen like, okay, I just need to put some projects on my resume that I have copy pasted, and because in the 3 to 4 question that will be exposed in any
Mhm.
interview.
Right.
That is one. Second is more, and the organization need to take more risk on hiring the freshers, because if you do that, it will create the talent pool within the country that will be circulating. So it has not happened in US that overnight they have like 5,000 very good data scientists. In the US, it has happened because these kind of projects were available there since 2005, 6, 7, when Google and Amazon, all of them were setting up, right?
Mhm.
So it will need effort from the educational institutions, edtech institutions, and at the same time the students who wants to pursue has to put their hearts in it. And the hiring companies, like let's say anyone who is hiring, everybody wants to hire people with experience, but it will take some time that it is you will create a layer, because it's like supply chain of any product. You have a supply coming from educational institutions, someone is honing that skill, getting experience, and then switching the company and all of that, right? So this will take time, but it is happening at a rapid pace. And students I have interacted, they may not be very much aware of how to crack the interview, but lack of talent, I will never agree to that. I
Mhm.
have picked up those 120 or 150 people, even more than that, and they are
Mhm.
doing great. That's why they have been able to switch to the FANG companies and all those jargons that is there for hiring. They have been able to do so. So and my experience says that if we keep doing similar kind of stuff, more companies engage in that, in no time, maybe in next 3 to 4 years, India will be the most, talent dense for, country for AI. I'm going to tell you that, like we became for like service industry software developers, we are going to be that as well.
Okay, great. Thanks. Thanks for the all the explanation and all. Few things I was not aware. So to highlight few things, Manish. So currently we are having a lot of hiring partners. So a lot of companies are there who hire our students who are upskilled in particular domains. So in data science, we are having a lot of companies who hire our skilled students. Suppose one student is completing his AI program or machine learning program, so at the end of the program, they got an opportunity to sit in the recruitment process for all these companies. So these companies, most of the companies, what they offer when they are visiting campus, like particular university or colleges or any tier 2 or tier 3 colleges in India, here they give a CTC 2x than what they give at the uh, the college or the particular university they are visiting. So now the companies are also looking for someone who is already skilled in that particular domain. So now the things are also changing from uh, many of the companies are like depending on us for the hiring, because if they will hire from the college, they need to provide them training at least for 3 to 6 months of, then only they can throw them at the client face, right? So now, like in
Yeah.
India, also I'm seeing the all the scenario are changing. People are also rather than going to uh, the colleges and universities and doing the vintage hiring, right? They are also coming to us to hire the student who are skilled in that particular domain.
Absolutely, and I will tell you, this hiring dynamics is going to change drastically. So in my new organization, when we started hiring, so we never looked at, okay, from where you are graduating, what is your
Hmm.
degree. It was purely based on, okay, you come in an interview, you show us the resume what you have really worked on, and we are going to hire. So we have some of the founding engineers working with us who has dropped out from the college, started freelancing. I'm not
Hmm.
encouraging that on your platform, but they are doing really, really good. So as you said, like, organizations are going to hire from the platform where they say that, okay, people are already coming with fundamental knowledge, good skill set to fit into the field, rather than putting into training and development and all, because that's an additional operational cost for any organization. This is going to be on educational institutions. Engineering college, MBA college has to change their modus operandi as well to fit in
Hmm.
the same. Otherwise, this won't take much time, maybe next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, where the hiring is not going to happen through them, but it is going to happen through those skill assessment or skill providing platforms.
Yeah, we are in positive hope for that, basically.
Yeah, yeah, that is going to happen because, um, for a corporate, it's like only thing that means to us or means to them. Any corporate is business. How
Right.
I can do that with less cost? You are saying that there are layoffs happening, right?
Hmm.
So everybody say AI is doing that layoff, this is doing that layoff, they offer
Hmm.
hire and everything. No, the keep it in return. Every corporate is working to make profits, so they will try to reduce anything where there is a loss making stuff. So
Hmm.
if I can get a platform where I can have a skilled data scientist, skilled engineer, I will go and hire from that, and I can pay 2x the CTC, because let's say someone is hiring. I'm just giving you average, start at 10 lakhs in college, and I can hire that person skilled in data science domain at 20 lakhs, even though at front it will be appearing to that it's 10 lakh extra, but in the back end that he's going to, that organization is going to spend on their training and all, will be maybe more
Right.
than that. That's why they're very comfortable hiring with you at double the
Exactly.
CTC.
Exactly. Got it. So Manish, I guess I'm having a lot of questions for you, but I guess we are running out of time. So maybe I will be having one or two more questions for you. Then we can go ahead with the Q&A session. So as you mentioned, you
Sure.
were mentioning previously that currently the businesses or the companies are not having idea how to find the use cases related to AI, how to implement AI in their business, how to integrate AI in their business, right? So uh,
Yes.
like one concern thing with the AI is that one ethical consideration is there, one regulation needs to be there regarding the AI, or one auditing needs to be there. So as you are there in fintech, right? So I know like RBI is quite very concerned regarding the fintech organization. I guess they also do auditing at for the code for a regular interval, right? They do code review. So if we are leveraging the AI in a big organization, right? So data concern is very important. If you are if I'm as a consultancy company, I'm having various clients related to different fields, someone from life sciences, someone from healthcare, someone from logistics, someone from different segments. So data is one of the like top priority concern for that organization. If some companies in pharma, then or in medical sciences, then their data is their like for them the data is their top notch priority. To maintain the secrecy of that data is the topmost priority. So how these all these things can be handled? Like, what is your views on this?
So bottom line fact is, if there are government rules and regulation, you can never defy that. You will have to follow that. So I have been working in this domain, and where we have to get compliant with GDPR, the European regulations related to data.
Yeah, I guess in
Have
India
to
we are not having any data protection
yes.
or nothing. GDPR for
So
Europe, I guess it's there.
yes, so and then you have to get compliant in, if you're operating in US, there are different laws for healthcare,
Hmm.
different laws for, let's say, other vertical of finances, right? So
Hmm.
bottom line is, if there is law, enacted by government, you need to avoid that, and there is no second question. Now, how to ensure that still doing all this, you can provide the solutions which is which is not violating any law, and then there is ethical aspect, like your AI must be ethical in terms of decision making and everything.
Hmm.
So that's why the data science, this domain, is not just limited to data scientists. There are many vertical that if someone needs to set up a data science org, they need to look into multiple verticals when solving a particular problem. First, as you mentioned, data, right? The source of data, the quality of data, how you provide the security of data, how you ensure that your data is not causing AI to make any decision which is ethically wrong. So there is one practice that we generally adopt, like, okay, is my AI, in simple terms, there is technical term, I will not mention that, is my AI making a decision based on a variable which is, let's say, for example, gender, which is, for example, their religion, maybe
Right.
their ethnicity,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So there has been framework developed by companies like IBM to detect that in your data and handle that. So there are processes that the companies, or the companies who are working on AI, are coming up. So how you can detect if there are any ethical biases in your AI, if there are biases in your data, that has been put into the model. So for example, I will give you a simple example what I'm talking about. Let's say you are making a software which is making autonomous decision on whether to provide loan to an applicant or not, and you took a data where 90% of your applicant who were given loan were male, for example, and 10% were female. You took data, you used a feature in it, that is gender of the applicant. Okay. Now your model is predicting only males should be getting the loan, because your data had 90% of data. The male were the applicants where the loan was provided. Now this is a case of ethical biasness, or the biasness in the model. Why? That data is not because 90% of the mail were only provided because of some reasoning. There might be two reasons. One, all the loan applicants, 90% would be male in general. That's why
Hmm.
90% of even applicants male were there. But it is not that gender is not the causing factor. Or the
Hmm.
other way would be, the person who was making the decision at the first place that I am using,
Hmm.
maybe a gender biased person in nature, was making this decision, undermining, okay, a female cannot repay the loan. But if I take that as my decision parameter in my model, then that is a problem.
Hmm. Right. Exactly.
So this is one aspect. So whenever we take the data for the modeling, the first layer check is, am I taking any data point which is going to cause a bias in the model which is unethical?
Mm.
So now the bigger organizations have a data ethics and integrity team, which
Yeah.
ensures that data that we are going to process has already been checked upon for all these. And once we build the model, before releasing it, it does all those checks in the process to ensure that there nothing like those unethical practices getting into the production, right? Then comes the data security. So that has become one of the most prominent factor, how you store the data. So there are laws related to PIIs, like personal identifier information, like can I store email ID, can I use email ID, can who can see that. Again, let's say I'm working for my organization and for my clients data, can I see those email IDs? Maybe not anybody, nobody can see that social security number or the Aadhaar number in India. Can you see that? No. So those data will be masked. Anything which can particularly identify someone has to be masked. When I'm saying masking, it's like you, let's say my email ID is there and it is masked with something else. Nobody is able to see the, in general, the star you see, for example. So I should not be using that. If I need to use it, it should be used in a particular way that even if I see that data is, I cannot identify whom it is referring to. Similarly, if there are in finance, there are more sensitive details like their amount, their financial transaction, and all of that. Who can access? Where I am building the model? Can I put that data in my local system and build it? No, I need to do that activity in a secured environment where this is the level of approval. If that has been approved at a number of levels, then I can log in and do that modeling process, delete the data, deploy the model, done. So that's how these level of practices, that's why data engineering, data security, data ethics and integrity, these teams are coming up along with data science separately.
Mm. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Thank you so much for all the explanation. I guess few points were quite very logical that we have explained, Manish. Yeah, I guess we are already running out of time. So the last question for me will be for the students. I guess they have been there with us for last 1 hour. So one roadmap that you can provide to them, that can be like, as you already in the from the early on when we are starting the conversation, you have mentioned I guess every perspective and every aspect we have already mentioned, but in a uh, like not in a crunch way or in a concise way, if you can give a roadmap to the students who are uh, currently in their college, or which can help them in the practical way. Because nowadays, so if you are going to LinkedIn or Twitter, a lot of uh, tech dummy influencers are there, right? So somehow it creates a lot of FOMO amongst them. Ki, uh, basically, they are not having any kind of background also uh, uh, related to the domain, but they are putting the information over there. So a concise roadmap that a students can somehow use in their career to navigate themselves if they are planning to move into this domain.
Yeah, so first thing I will tell you that there is no shortcut. That's the bottom line for me.
Mm.
Like I will not give you like, okay, in 5 days you will be a rockstar data scientist, or in 30 minute session you will be a data scientist. What I will suggest that in very simple way, first, if you are an engineering student, irrespective of the domain, learn at least one programming language. That's, and this is not just for data science, for anything that you are going to enter into tech field, learn any programming language, be it Python, or maybe the easiest one is there to learn. Learn that. Okay, I'm not telling you to be the expert, at least intermediate level where you can you understand all the constructs and everything.
Mhm.
Second, you start with any data science course. Let's say if TechBed is offering anything, you start with that. Okay, start with that, because any data science course that is there, except those as associated like dummy influencers, the course that is there with I mean authentic provider, maybe some, let's say TechBear, or there will be some other platform which where you are comfortable with. Start with that. I'm not telling you to get into deep dive into mathematics or stats or anything. Start understanding what is data science is all about. If you are interested in this field, this will start with very simple fundamentals. Okay, you know the basics of the stats, very basics like mean, median, mode, what is that, and all of that. And then you will get into details of, okay, what is machine learning, because machine learning is one aspect of data science. There are these three terms: AI, data science, and ML. So I'm telling you very simple. You learn one programming language. You will start with fundamentals of machine learning like linear regression, logistic regression. Those are those classical algorithms. You will get a very good idea. Okay, what kind of problem each of the algos solve. Try to deep dive little bit into it, not too much, so that you understand the fundamental working. There are hyperparameters and all. Once you start doing that, try to do simple projects that is available on Kaggle or any other platform. Okay, it's not like in one day you will do one project and next day you will be very efficient for hiring. I'm not telling you that, not I'm promising you that, but that will give you a very good confidence. Okay, I have learned something. So take little steps. Maybe learning Python programming language can take 15 days, practicing some questions. Then next would be learning your machine learning stuff can take another 1 month or so. And in meantime, keep practicing. I always believe that you can learn best when you do some practical work on top of it. It's not like you need to find freelancer project. As soon as you keep doing this, keep repeating this process. You have learned. Now you do one algo, understand one algo, solve the problem. Now you try to find, the next step of it that is deep learning, let's say. Try to do some projects on it, not copy pasting of the code, but rather understanding the problem, solving it. And keep repeating this. This will take you, I will tell you, if you are in second year or third year, you can start. It's no rocket science, nothing. It By the time you will be in your fourth year, or let's say if you are in third year, if you spend 1 year upfront right now, every day maybe 2 hours or 3 hours, you will be in very, very good stage than everybody else to get into this field. Okay, so it's very simple, no rocket science, but it's not a one-day success. Start with simple learning a programming language and start doing a data science. You can do in reverse order as well. That's why I do not say that this formula will work for everyone. For example, let's say there is a course which is telling you that, but keep doing more projects, more projects. That's my mantra, nothing else. More you will do, you will be able to figure out by yourself what I'm missing, what I learned new. That's the only thing. Learn the fundamentals, do the project simpler one, then take the complex one. That's it. If you have question, you can ask in your Q&A. But this is what I believe. There is no shortcut or there is nothing else.
So very, very, very practical roadmap from Manish. I hope you guys have understood how you will start using or suggestion that he has provided. So yeah, very practical roadmap. Yeah, and yeah, I guess we are now open for Q&A session. So if you guys are having any kind of queries, any kind of questions uh, related to this domain, you can ask that in the chat also, and you can also open up your mic. You can ask that question also. Yeah, please go ahead if anyone is having any queries or any question. Any queries, you can write in the chat or you can ask also. So Abhinav Goyal is asking, can you please provide a? So yeah, I guess Manish has already provided you his LinkedIn ID. I will also send it once again. So you can connect with him over the LinkedIn. And meanwhile, later in the future, if you're having any queries or anything, you can also ping him over the LinkedIn. Yeah. Any question from anyone? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Abhinay. Jasri, if you can give your background, like which year you are in or how you are confused, then we can try to resolve that as much as possible from our end. If you can tell us your background or any confusion you are still having. Yeah,
Okay.
Manish.
Yeah. So first thing that you do not know what would be the hiring trend 2 years down the line. It can change even next year. So what is going to happen 2 years later, maybe when you would be in third year? First thing I will tell you, do not get driven by that, because that can be very different. Maybe market will be much more open than this, or market maybe even closed than this. That's the first point I will tell you. So you are in first year, don't and this is telling you from a personal experience, don't get overexcited or disheartened by that. Second, you are in, I guess, maybe you might be in your second semester, looks like, based on the time of year we are in. So if you are, let's say, doing C++, put 100% of your effort in that. Okay, because all the programming language fundamental constructs are same. I told you, like, learn programming language at least once, whether you are doing C++, fundamental constructs are same. So learn that with 100% of your effort into it. Once you have finished that, if you think you want to give it a try to, let's say, data science, or you find your passion in doing coding on through C++, in the second year, you can start taking up a small project, whether it be it full stack, or if some of your friends are, let's say, I'll tell you simply, making some application where you want to do a backend work, or you want to do something related to devs, related to data science or anything. After finishing your C++, give it at least your competitive programming or programming more try, because you are on that path already. If you feel that, okay, this is working for you, fine. If you feel, no, I want to try data science or AI, because that's immediate next field related to programming, you can give that to a try as well. If you still felt that, okay, none of these codings are working for me, there will be opportunities in field of sales, marketing, and all. You can give that a try too. So do not first bother about what's happening with your seniors, because that is going to happen 2 years later. But you should be only bothered how should I prepare. So learn as much as you can. Start with maybe competitive programming. You are doing C++, not interested, try a. There is nothing like a single route to that. I will not say, okay, this is the 10 steps that you need to follow. These are the 5 steps that you need to follow. There is nothing like that in practical world. And
Got
if
it.
anybody is selling you that, that's not going to work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasri. One more question we are having. Manish from Yes Saini is asking, recently Devin AI was introduced. So will it affect the job opportunities in the upcoming time? If it will affect, then will it favor the new jobs?
Yes, in which year you are in? First year?
Yes. Can you open up your mic? Possible?
Yes, sir, I'm in first year from VIT Bhopal.
Okay. Yes, Devin, yes. So by the time you will be in fourth, again, the same thing that I have just said to Jasri, that by the time you will be in third or fourth, you're ready for the market. There will be much more such tools that will be coming up. What is in your control is to learn the fundamentals of the engineering that you are taught. So there is a common concept in college that, okay, whatever is taught in college doesn't make any sense. It is not applicable in engineering. It's applicable there. That is my bottom line. Only thing that engineering colleges are missing, they are not providing those vocational sort of training that is required to get the job where you will apply all the other knowledge. So
Right.
first thing, so if I have understood, I mean, so if anyone who is in maybe third or fourth year of computer science, also there is subject database, there is subject operating system, there are subjects of, let's say, computer architecture. Every single thing has been applicable for me when I'm working, and even the software engineering where you know the project management, agile, and everything. So learn your fundamentals. So yes, in which branch you're working in? So I mean, computer science.
Yes, sir, I'm in computer science.
Okay, so first thing, learn your fundamentals of computer science that is coming to you in next 2 years. Okay, and in those 2 years, start working on projects which interest you, or maybe if you are interested in software development, do the. I mean, you can build some full stack applications. If you are interested in data science, and when again the same answer for interest, how will you know? Experiment. Okay, do projects on it, your knowledge will be so thorough that when you will get into an interview, you will be talking about your projects, why you make certain decision, why you did this, why you tried that algorithm, what was the drawback of your previous algorithm, and that's how you will crack the. And Devin AI is not going to uh, wipe out the job of software engineers. There will be jobs coming up. Devin AI has been developed to add in the efficiency of software developers. So it's not going to take away all the jobs. Prepare what you are doing. It's not going to change that in a way that okay, software engineering hiring will be over. There will be hirings, but maybe the role of like okay, writing the fundamental piece of code may not happen, but there will be role for more specific jobs. And that's how the platform like TechBird is also going to evolve their learning process to make you ready for future.
I hope yes, you've got your answer. If anything further you're having, you can also clear.
No, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So any further question from anyone else? Meanwhile, once again, I'm putting Manish LinkedIn ID in the chat. So if any one of you want to connect with him, just please connect with him over the LinkedIn. And
And you
later on,
can try connecting if you are facing problem. Let me know. Right now that if anyone who has tried and is still asking
so
for.
so if you will try to send some message over there, then they will ask for the premium, because first you need to add them in your connection, then only you can send them message. So first try to connect, use the connect option over there.
Okay, I guess I'm receiving some of the requests, so I guess that's working.
Okay, perfect, fine,
No
great.
problem.
Right. I guess Manish, two questions we are having. One is from Akshat. He's asking, sir, is there any roadmap websites to learn prompt engineering basics?
Yeah, there are many, but I would suggest you to start with there is course designed by the OZ Andrew NG. So he has designed course on prompt engineering that is available on his website deeplearning.ai as well as I guess on Coursera. So and then OpenAI also has released some guidelines on their prompt. So you will search OpenAI prompt engineering guideline, you will find that, or prompt engineering courses by deeplearning.ai or by Andrew NG, and it's a very good course to start with. But again,
Mhm.
prompt engineering, as simple as it sounds, trust me, with my experience, I'm telling you, uh, it's a it's not as simple. It's more logical. Again, the problem solving. How do you understand the nature of your large language model, and then try to get the best out of it using your prompt structuring?
Mhm.
Do you provide the time the model to think? How do you ask model to make the decision making and all of that? So that will give you a good understanding. Those courses by range.
Mm. Okay, I guess we are about to close the session. And Manish, thank you so much for your this fruitful time. I guess we have been there with us for 1.5 hours, and we have almost touched every perspective that a student or a particular individual who is currently in the IT segment, who is in this AI or ML segment, would know. I guess every perspective we have touched uh, in related to companies also, what will be the beneficial to students also. So I guess those who have joined us in the evening, Sunday evening, we haven't wasted their time. So uh, uh, as I guess something we have added in your bucket. We were far ahead from all those who haven't joined us today. I guess you will be having a lot of ideas on how from now onwards how you will be looking at the AI, how you will be looking at the machine learning domain. So yeah, thank you so much, Manish, for this. Thank you so much for coming to our platform and accepting our invitation. Yeah, so looking forward, I guess I will request all the students to please connect with him over the LinkedIn, so that in the future also, if any kind of doubt, if any kind of queries or anything will be there, you can also reach out to him further on. And yeah, from the whole tech band family, Manish, I'm very grateful and fruitful to you to join us and guide all the students who are currently learning with us, or who are currently uh, doing their engineering on from different colleges all across the India.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this session too because I always love to talk with these young people. I said that okay, we do not have lack of talent in the country. Only thing it needs to be guided, trained, and nurtured in a particular way. And that's where I look at by 2025, we will have the most dense, highest density population of AI engineers with us. And that's already happening. Ola Kritrim has started the first $1 billion startup in field of AI research from India. So, and we are going to see many more of this sort of things coming up. And that is not possible just because investors are putting money, because we have the talent. That's why
Mm,
someone has put money into it.
yeah, right.
And Ola Kritrim is none other than the Bhavish Agarwal, who is founder of Ola as well.
Kritrim is
So
live now or still in beta version?
yes, it's beta version live to test, and they are not just building the chatbot; they are also building the infrastructure, the whole stack to develop AI models. Like maybe they might enter into GPU development or maybe as well. So it's. I mean, I'm really glad to spend this 1.5 hours with these guys and answer. Hopefully, I was able to answer their queries. My answers are not generally the popular answers you will find on LinkedIn, but yeah, those are tried and tested.
Mm. So for me also, I've learned a lot. I'm basically I'm bit from last 4 to 5 years. I'm completely into the sales and marketing. So for me, as understanding all this framework regarding the AI and how the current market scenario is going, for me it's which was also a very learning curve for this 1.5 hours. Now I will tell my team to do the marketing in this way, do the sales in this way. You can include these keywords if you're doing sales. So thank you so much for that, Manish. Yeah, and last but not least, thanks to all the students, thanks to all those who have joined us. And yeah, if any queries or anything is there, you can reach out to Manish over the LinkedIn. And yeah, I guess if nothing is there, I guess we are okay to close the session. And yeah, once again, thank you all. Thank you, Manish, for joining. Hope you all very best. And Holi is coming, so happy Holi in advance.
Thank you, everyone, and same to you. Enjoy and have fun, guys. Do not be so serious in your studies. Have fun. You cannot predict. No AI can predict the future. Okay, so everything is you in your control. Is your present. Give your best there. Don't worry about the future. If you are giving your best here, it will. Your future will also be great as well. That's what I believe.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Bye bye.
Wish you all the
Good
best.
night.
Thank you.